Absolutely.
I think we need to calculate that all
We
together.
really do. We really do.
So let's open it up for some questions. How are we going to do this? Great. So if you disagree, you can come to the front of the line.
Yeah, some of those guys that were protesting, I wanted them to come in. So I invited those people in. We were having a conversation out there. I invited them in to come. So let's talk.
So, and then just make it a question, not a long statement with an upward inflection at the end. And again, if you disagree, come to the front of the line. Let's have some mutual respect. And again, audience, please don't boo. If you hear something you don't like, we're not the left. We're not going to shout people down. We're going to have a discussion of ideas. And are we ready to get started? Okay, let's get started.
Hi, Charlie. Welcome to the best state in the Union, Ohio.
Hey.
The Ohio State University.
So my question is, if the president were to enact a policy that would completely benefit the United States and her citizens, but to the detriment of Israel, would you support it, yes or no?
That's a false choice. Thank you for being here. I get a lot of questions about Israel in the last week. I will not apologize for my defense of our greatest ally in the Middle East, the place that the Knesset has representation for all three monotheistic religions, something that does not exist all throughout the Middle East.
Not to mention the only pro-gay place in the Middle East, by the way.
Yeah, so because it took you 10 minutes to get there.
I'm literally reading it right now.
Okay, we're going to go to the next question.
I swear
I think
will
you
be
need to find
much,
one.
much
Be
more
quick,
than
straight
him.
to the
I will. Somebody outside a protester was asking about the term culture war. It's got a long history, started late 1800s, Otto von Bismarck, Kulturkampf. In the late 1990s, mid-1990s, it was reclaimed by conservatives. One of those being E. Michael Jones, who actually started this magazine, Culture Wars magazine, and because of his fantastic work, we now understand. Thank you. Give it up. Because of E. Michael Jones' groundbreaking work, we now understand that sexual liberation is political control. It's a form of political control. And you have multiple times advocated on behalf of accepting homosexuality, accepting homosexual acts as normative in the conservative movement. How does anal sex help us win the culture war?
I'm going to let the gay man answer
Wait a minute. So can I ask you a question? Can you have the balls to ask the gay man on the stage that question and don't defer to him? Able to do everything. And let me tell you something as well. I served in the military, right? I served 5 years. I did an Iraq turn. What's up?
How does homosexual sex help us win the culture war?
Who said homosexual sex helps you win the culture war?
That's the question that I'm asking. Why are you promoting it?
Well, maybe. Next question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Mr. Kirk.
And wait a minute, this is my first culture war, so I want to say that I have to make a statement, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to think or what to believe, but for me, somebody like that doesn't really have any place in the conservative movement because it's something that is so behind the times.
Next question.
What's the question?
My question is largely directed to Mr. Kirk because you were raised as a conservative. Part of the issue I see here is, what's your name, Rob?
Yeah.
So you're saying, you're behind the times, this isn't conservative. Well, we don't want centrists in the conservative movement. We want to retain our core values.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We don't want drag.
But here's the thing. It's not about what you want because here's the thing.
So my question is, again, it's directed to Mr. Kirk because he was raised as a conservative. As the guy before has said, you've advocated for homosexuality, said that there's a place for the gay agenda within the conservative movement. My question is, and you're also comfortable with transgenders and cross-dressers, I understand. So my question is there any point where conservatives should take a moral stance on Christian morality, or should we abandon it altogether? So in other words, what is what is your brand of conservatism doing to actually conserve Christian morality? If we're ceding to the left on transgender, gay rights, gay marriage, we don't want that in conservatism.
So you don't want him in the conservative movement? I just want to be very clear. Let's just be.
So you don't want me in the movement?
on a sec. I want to be very clear. Hold on a sec. You're bringing some very charged language.
All right.
Thank you so much. We got a line very long. Thanks for being here tonight.
All right, so according to the U.S. Census Bureau population projections, in 2045, whites will account for less than 50% of the population in the United States. Given that the Democratic Party's policies do not point towards the maintaining of our American ideals, and given that most groups other than whites overwhelmingly vote Democrat, how can we be sure that said American ideals will be maintained when millions of immigrants come in with majority Democratic support? Can you prove that our white European ideals can be maintained if the country's majority is no longer made up of white European descendants?
So said
Combined.
that it is a failure of the conservative movement to not be able to communicate to communities in the black community, which I believe the black community is an inherently conservative community, a community that is around the ideas of the Judeo-Christian tradition. Next question.
What a racist question that was. So I got a quick and fun, lighthearted question for you, Charlie. So I know you gave a speech in Jerusalem earlier this year.
Yes, I did.
Were there any awesome, fun dance parties that you guys had afterwards? Because I heard that Israelis are some of the best dancers in the world. If you guys don't believe me, just Google dancing Israelis. It's insane how good their dance moves are. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Israel's a beautiful country, a great country too.
It is. They're our greatest ally.
Correct. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question. Thank you for being here tonight. Next question.
All right, so I've followed you for a while. I've listened to a lot of your talks, and my question is this. Given that your interpretation of traditional conservative values stems from 1965 on immigration and 2015 on race, I'd like to know, how long do we have to wait until child drag shows are pushed as American traditional conservatism?
Let me answer. I'm going to answer that question. So,
hi, Charlie. So I saw and enjoyed your debate at Kulturkampf with Kyle Klinsky over the weekend. And you said during the debate that the free speech police are telling people that they can no longer say certain things. Yet, as you were saying that, you had actual police prevent someone from merely watching the debate. Nick Fuentes. Told that he
Is
would
this the
just
internet
basically-
troll? I'm confused who you're talking about.
who are these people?
Who are you? No, I want to be sure that is this the internet troll that is the guy that believes in white ethno-nationalism or? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, because there is a guy that infiltrated our booth at Politicon that security came up to us and they said we're not allowing this guy at the event. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Because there's a guy that infiltrated our booth, and then the Politicon security, an event that I don't run, they came up to me and they said, this guy made a little disruption. So thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Hello. So my name is Patrick Casey. I'm an American nationalist and America First patriot. And thanks, guys. So, and despite all of that, despite my ardent support for the president and his policies, I was actually kicked out of CPAC earlier this year.
But I didn't kick you out of this event.
No, I'm not going to blame you.
Just making sure.
Yeah, you're very defensive here. I get that. As was my good friend Nicholas J. Fuentes, whom I believe you were just discussing up there. But look, I'm not going to blame you for that.
I just want to make sure.
I've got a question here.
Is that the troll that keeps tweeting about me?
He's not a troll. He's a very intelligent guy who has a lot to say. Somewhat of a troll, but
he seems to be getting a lot of you guys to say stuff for him tonight, so.
I don't debate trolls.
I think we've been debating them all night.
Right, so I'm just citing CPAC's decision to remove American nationalists from their conference. I'm not blaming you for that. I'm moving it into something.
I don't run
I'm
CPAC
saying,
either.
Right, and I just said that I'm not blaming you. I've said that 3 times. So, but you do run TPUSA, and TPUSA did remove its relationship with Ashley St. Clair, who all she really did was take a picture with Nick Fuentes. She was in the same room. So my question to you, Charlie, is as someone who, purports to be pro-debate, free speech, and, exchange of ideas, do you support blackballing people based on having controversial opinions or being even in the same room when a photograph is taken with someone who has controversial opinions? And the second part of that question is, if the answer is no, will you debate me on immigration, identity, and demographics?
Well, so first of all, I mean this respectfully. I have no idea who you are. The other thing, that was a private matter. Ashley's a good person. We handled it privately. That's all I'm going to say about that. And finally, I just want to make a broader statement. I want to make a broader statement. My stance on Israel, I'm not going to back away on it. My stance on immigration is a mainstream position. And I think it's really incredible because the amount of people that have been here tonight that have shown hatred towards Rob, that have been shown hatred towards his ideas, is pretty incredible. And thank you guys. Have a great night. I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Like I never told you. Don't act like I told you. Don't act like I told you. Don't act like I told you. Eat shit! Eat shit, Turning Point. Eat shit, Charlie Kirk.